Vibes and Vincent's reunion, guys. First of all, I would say Vibes and Vincent's reunion was here to clear the air, but then instead, friendships ended, accusations started flying, and one of the cast members was blamed for the other losing their job. Oh my God. Why didn't anyone prepare us? Why did anyone tell us that what was coming was really something we should have expected? Anyway, guys, let's dive into it. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. But then before doing that, guys, please subscribe, hit the notification button, turn on the notification button so that whenever I post any video, you're able to watch. Anyway, guys, do you really think Jemima is the reason as why Ruthie lost her job? Or do you think maybe there was something that was misunderstood or we misinterpreted everything in this whole situation? Anyway, guys, please put your genuine answers in the comment section. Let's dive into it. Let's get into it. First of all, let's talk about the Ruthie and Mommy Deb Jemima situation. This is where they say Jemima is the reason as to why, Ruthie lost her job. First of all, let's get into the exact thing and see what really happened. First of all, they asked Ruthie, Jean made asked Ruthie literally, do you still have a job or do you want us to collect some rent for you or maybe something to start a small business? And now Ruthie mentioned something like, she's still working at Bougie. I'm like, okay. The last time we checked, they told us you're no longer there. So she says she's just still working at Bougie. Maybe all this happened after the reunion because we all know in these media rounds they have been making, we saw excuses like Ruthie lost her job, Ruth is no longer working with Mommy Deb, this, that. So this is who Bougie Jr. came out to ask Jemima, do you feel or does Jemima think she's the reason as why Ruthie lost her job? At this point I was like, Bougie, why are you not being, Bougie decided to be straightforward, girl, I'm coming for you. She was like, girl, I'm coming for you, I'm not letting anything go at this point. And Jemima eyes were she looked like, why are these people coming for me? What does this Bougie want from me? Anyway, she went ahead and said no, she thinks she is not the reason. But then we were told the biggest part, we all believed that Jemima is the reason as to why Ruthie lost her job. At this point, I was really waiting for Jemima's, explanation. I was really waiting for her answer. I wanted to know, girl, what is going on? I wanted her to defend herself at this point. And this is what she said. She said she believes she's not the reason as to why Ruthie lost her job. In explanation, she said when she became friends with Mommy Deb, before, something was already going on at Bougie or something was already going on between Ruthie and Mommy Deb, that it was just a coincidence that the time maybe it was during the same time when when Jemima became friends with Mommy Deb that the issues of, Ruthie and Mommy Deb arose. And at this point I'm like, that sparks something. You cannot just say just because you came in the picture now this is happening. At this point I was like, okay. At this point I'm like, give me my explanation. So Jemima went ahead to say that when she became Mommy Deb's friends, at first Mommy Deb was not so open with her until she started opening up to her and said some things were going on between Mommy Deb and Ruthie. At this point I wanted to know what exactly Mommy Deb had said. Sometimes we need to hear everything before we can judge. But then she did not tell us the deeper story. She just said it was when Mommy Deb started opening up about Ruthie that Jemima got to know those things that she was not the reason. At this point I'm like, okay, what did you say? What did you say when Mommy? At this point I wanted to know what did Jemima say when Mommy Deb opened up about Ruthie, because what Jemima had said could have been the reason as to why Ruthie lost her job. I wanted to know what did Ruthie say when Mommy Deb opened up to her. Anyway, it is what it is at this point, because I did not get a clear answer. Because Jemima claims the person who replaced Ruthie, or the person who could have taken, Ruthie's position was, Ruthie's brother. At this point, I'm like, okay, what is going on? It is said, in Jemima's words that Ruthie's brother, who is Amos, is now Mommy Deb's personal assistant, is doing what Ruthie has been doing. At this point, I'm a little bit confused because what do you mean Ruthie's brother is the reason as to why Ruthie was laid off at this point? What do you mean it is Ruthie's brother is Ruthie's replacement? Anyway, this is a point when Jemima said to her, she feels like Jemima is the reason as why Ruthie, like, lost her job. Because at this point, she felt like Jemima had replaced Ruthie in Mommy Deb's life. First of all, she also went ahead to explain that in Mommy Deb's house, like, like Jemima is always lively when she's in Mommy Deb's house, when she's there. But then the moment Mommy Deb comes into public or with other people or with these other, like these casts, when those other casts are there, that is when Jemima starts saying, oh, she's not feeling okay, or her stomach, or this, or this, or this. At this point, I'm a little bit confused. Is Boogie trying to say that when Jemima said she was having an ulcer attack, she was lying? Is she trying to say she did all the attention from Mommy Deb that Mommy Deb did literally not provide? But she went ahead to say she was shocked because Mommy Deb did not give, that extra, care to Jemima. At this point, I did not understand Boogie, because Boogie, what do you mean that when you people are around with Jemima and Mommy Deb, she starts saying, like Jemima starts saying she's not feeling okay, or this or that, or Mommy, or this or this. Like literally, it is now giving, she is competing for Mommy Deb's attention. I don't want to say when she said she got an ulcer attack, it was a lie. I'm not saying it, but then I'm just quoting what Boogie said. Because Boogie said whenever they are around, that is when Jemima, feels like her stomach is paining, feels like she's not, okay. At this point, it is giving Jemima does not want to share Mommy Deb with others. She wants Mommy Deb all to herself, just like Boogie said. Anyway, let's talk about what Boogie said about Jemima. So Boogie said they feel, first of all, just like she asked whether Jemima was the reason as to why Ruthie lost her job. And Jemima said she's not the reason, and she gave us explanation as we looked at that explanation. I don't know whether people are buying that explanation, but then to me personally, I wanted to know, after Mommy Deb, opening up to Jemima, what did Jemima say? That could be the reason as to why Ruthie lost her job. I'm not saying it is the reason, but I'm saying it could be the reason as to why she lost her job. What did she say when Mommy Deb opened up about Ruthie's situation? What did Jemima say? Because there is no way you're going to tell me that, oh, my friend opened up about something, then I listened and did not say anything. There is no way. I wanted to know what Jemima say when Mommy Deb opened up. Like, what did she tell Mommy Deb to do? Or what did you say when Mommy Deb opened up, about Ruth's situation? That is literally what I wanted to know. But then she did not tell us. Anyway, let's go back to what Boogie, asked. So, she asks Jemima, not even asking, she was just stating her facts, what she thinks are facts, literally. Because she said, in those videos we used to see on the internet that included Mommy Deb and Ruth, it is now Jemima we are seeing with Mommy Deb. Is it true? I would say yes. We've seen, online videos. We've seen a lot of online videos, TikTok videos, where we've seen Jemima and, Mommy Deb. And in the previous times, we used to see, Mommy Deb and Ruth, and now it is literally who? It is literally Jemima instead of Ruthie. Is Boogie wrong to say Jemima replaced Ruthie? I would say no. Even when she feels like she did not, I would say she did. Because she may not have taken the job thing. She may not have taken up the job thing, but then she has taken Ruthie's position in the friendship at this point. Because remember, Ruthie was almost, not almost, literally, Ruthie was Mommy Deb's best friend. She was always in the same space with Mommy Deb. But then at this point, we see Jemima being in the same space with Mommy Deb all the time. And this was the space that belonged to Ruthie, not Jemima. At this point, I'm like, is it true? I will say yes at some point. Jemima has really taken up Ruthie's position. And this is what Esther called, destiny's, stealing. Is it stealing or swapping? Literally, it now makes sense. Esther's statement now makes sense when she said she feels like Jemima was going to steal Ruth's destiny with Mommy Deb. At this point, it is, it is really funny that still Jemima cannot see that picture, yet she's, all the spaces that Ruthie was always in, it is now Jemima in those spaces. And it is funny when she kept on denying that she did not replace Ruthie. Yes, I would say, just like I said, she may not have replaced Ruthie in the work situation or working for Mommy Deb, but then she should accept that she has replaced Ruthie being Mommy Deb's friend, because she's always in Mommy Deb's space, literally at home, this side. And again, there is this comment Esther mentioned where she says, anyway, before that comment, Boogie made a statement and said, Mommy Deb is one of the best, best people she has met. and she feels like Jemima is ruining her, like is literally spoiling everything. At this point, I'm like, okay, where is this coming from? Because it wasn't making sense. Then Esther also continued to make a statement. She said, she prays Mommy Deb keeps her marriage with Jemima around her. Okay, what is going on here? Like, what do you mean? And this sparks something like, it takes me back to, is it episode 1 when they had a conversation about Jemima having a married man. It also still takes me back to, like, it doesn't make sense at this point because Esther, what are you trying to pass on? With that statement Esther said, and with that story of Jemima having a married man, like, it is not making sense at this point. I do not want to say something that I'll regret. I do not want you people to pick something, but then I'm trying to help you. Like, I'm trying to ask you people to join the lines. Like, what is Esther trying to say at this point? Like, when she says she prays, Mommy Deb keeps her marriage with Jemima around. What is it? Like, Jemima, you need to put, you need to put question marks for such a statement. You need to prove them wrong at this point because all these lines do not make sense. Anyway, let's go back to what Bougie was telling Jemima. Bougie told her that, Bougie told Jemima that when Jemima came into the picture, like, everything started falling apart. Like, Shada was friends with Mommy Deb, but then when Jemima came into the picture, like, everything started falling apart. They were no longer friends. She decided to even leave the show, literally. Why? Because let's not forget, Shada said she's not coming back. There was a statement that they said that she was fired, but then she came out to clear the air and said she was not fired. She is just not coming back. When they asked her what was the reason, she said she felt disrespected and she cannot stand disrespect. And the next thing is, which person disrespected you? And it is boom, Mommy Deb. At this point, I'm like, okay, these were two people, and these two people were friends. And by the way, I feel like Mommy Deb and Shada have some things in common. They were all not in the country. Like, they all came back. Like, literally, they have a lot in common, more than what Jemima has with Mommy Deb in common. And at this point, they say they're no longer friends. When Jemima also came in the picture, like, Ruthie lost her job. Shada is gone. She's no longer coming back. Like, literally, it feels like also the friendship between Shada and Mommy Deb is no longer there. And, like, literally everything with Mommy Deb and Ruthie is falling apart. At this point, I'm like, okay, what is going on? First of all, me personally, I really feel like if you come into my life and everything starts falling apart, I would definitely question you. I would definitely feel like, okay, what is going on? What is this person doing? Like, literally, instead of her adding something to me, why is everything falling apart? At this point, I will say, Mommy Deb, should Mommy Deb still revise or still think about this relationship with Jemima? At this point, I will say yes, because if everything is falling apart, you're losing friends, things at work are not working out, you're laying off employees, I really feel like you should at least see if the words that Jemima tells you, because there has been this excuse where Esther said the words Jemima tells to Mommy Deb, even when they did not open up about the words, but then it really feels like something is going on. Even when Jemima denies this, it really, like, actions speak louder than words, definitely. It feels like something is literally going on. So Boogie, I know there was how Boogie came for Jemima, like, yo girl, today I'm coming for you. Like, it felt like, Boogie wanted an answer. It felt like she was boiling. She really wanted answers with Jemima. Anyway, guys, with all this denial, I will still say at some point, yes, Jemima replaced Ruthie. And this part where, how about this part where they say Jemima is the reason as to why Ruthie was laid off, or the reason as why Ruthie lost her job? I'm gonna say, I really wanted to know. At this point, I cannot make a conclusion. I cannot say she's not the reason. At the same time, I cannot say she's the reason. Because me personally, I wanted to know what she said after Mommy Deb opened up about Ruthie's situation with her. Because, like, maybe what Jemima said could have been or could have triggered everything. Anyway, it is what it is. I don't know what you guys think. Give me a genuine answer. Do you really think Jemima is the reason as to why Ruthie lost her job? What do you think about everything? And do you really think this has gone too far between, Jemima, Ruthie, and Mommy Deb, or do you think it is just something that will literally go down after some time? Anyway, guys, this is what I think about, Mommy Deb, Ruthie, and, all that situation. Let's now talk about Boogie and Ella. let's now talk about Bougie Junior and Ella's situation. First of all, I'm gonna say, this reunion, guys. But then before we go there, let's talk about Esther's question to Jemima. I really feel like all these cast members came ready for Jemima, guys. I really feel like all these cast members really came for Jemima. I really feel like in this situation, in this reunion, Jemima was the villain at this point. I'm not gonna say at some point she did. Anyway, Esther asked Jemima, like, what job, like, do you have a job? And if you do, like, what job is it? At this point, I'm like, okay, come to think about it, we did not have a proper, I don't know whether they did and I missed out, but these people did not have a proper introduction when they came in, because we really wanted to know them, what they do. If they did, I did not hear what Jemima does, literally, because I remember hearing a little bit of, like, some people introducing themselves, but I did not hear what Jemima does, or if she has a job or this or that. I really want to know, just like Esther wanted to know. I also really wanted to know, what does Jemima do, like, what, like, literally, who is Jemima, literally, what does she do? And guys, guess what, me and Esther were eager to know what Jemima does, like, who is she, what does she do, like, does she have a job? Esther told us she does not owe us anything, and she does not owe us any explanation about that, so she does not owe us an answer about that. I'm the first point, I'm like, why are you making this reunion boring? Give us an answer, like, at this point, when somebody does not give you an answer, you will definitely think your assumptions are really correct. Me personally, I really feel like, okay, now my assumptions are correct, because I'm trying to join the dots anyway. I'm really trying to join the dots. Because what do you mean they do not owe you, so you're not answering? Okay. Meaning our assumptions are correct. We are not going to do anything, because this is a reunion. You are supposed to clear the air. You are supposed to tell us, like, literally everything. If not, definitely we will all take our assumptions to be correct. Anyway, it is what it is, Jemima. If you don't know, wanna share, girl, let's go on with our assumptions. It is what it is. Anyway, guys, somebody talked about what the assumptions are. You guys. Anyway, the assumptions are not mine. I'm talking about what people think. The assumptions are, let's draw the line now. Let's draw this. Let's try to join dots. You have no jobs. This side, we have you unmarried men. And I don't want to go deep, but then, that it is what it is. Esther will always get you to get angry at any one point. Anyway, it is what it is. Let's talk about, Ella and Boogie's situation. First of all, like, also this host of this reunion. Anyway, guys, I forget, I really appreciate the host. She was very nice, guys. She was able, like, to put conversations to help these people open up about those situations. I'll really give her flowers with that. Like, she was, like, she would ask you and make sure she joins the whole conversation. Anyway, it is what it is. Thank you so much. The host was really so nice. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, let's talk about Ella's situation with Bougie. So let's not forget, in the previous episodes, so I think episode 4, 3 or 5, like between there, for those who did not watch, please go back to my previous episodes, like my previous videos. You'll be able to get that episode. Let's talk about that situation. This is a part where Ella had mentioned that, Boogie's, like, outfit was chafy, like it was chafy, and I really feel like she was just describing the outfit. I really feel like she was not, to me, I really feel like she was not insulting Bougie, like she was just saying her comment, that she was just putting out how Boogie's outfit was. But for Bougie, it did not sit right. It did not sit right with Bougie, because for her, she does not take it, like, in this environment, on that platform where she is the only Muslim and she's the most, like, the person who dresses up, like, she's the most covered person, literally, and she feels like she's the most conserved person there with dressing up. And for Ella to come out and give such a comment, like, it went deeper, because for her, she says you would rather tell her she's ugly, she will laugh about it, to come out as a joke, but then when you talk about her dressing, like, things will not sit right with her. It did not sit right with Bougie anyway. So she she went ahead to say, for her, like, she's trying, that she has tried to be there. She has tried to be there. And she also went ahead to give an example of a TV station where she says every time she would work, like, she would get to work, literally, they would be like, oh, can't you do this? Can't you remove that? Can't you, like, literally. First of all, I would say now it is not about what Ella said at this point. At this point, I would say it is something that has been within Bougie, and now, like, for Ella to make such a comment, like, already that situation was in Bougie, like, where people used to tell her this, especially at the TV station, just like she shared, and now for Ella to come out and say her outfit is chafy, like, literally, it triggered something to her, literally. I would say it triggered the insecurities, like, definitely. Even when we shall understand where it is coming from, I want to understand her from her side, and I also still want to understand Ella from her side. And first of all, let's first look at, like, Boogie's side. Bougie, I understand, like, me personally, I really understand what Bougie says when she says every time she would get to a TV station, they would tell her, oh, can't you do this? Oh, can't you do this? That literally, it made her literally feel so insecure. Like, why are they, like, am I not smart? Like, literally, when somebody's trying to tell you all the time, why don't you fix this? Why don't you fix this? Why don't you do this? Literally, it will feel like, for you, literally, it will feel like, okay, you'll be insecure about yourself, you'll be insecure about everything, you'll be insecure about your dress code, like, literally everything. So to her, it was always in her, she was always insecure, just because at her work, her workplace, the TV station, they always told her, why don't you fix this, why don't you do this, about her dress code. And now for Ella to come out and mention something like that, literally, it triggered the insecurities. And at this point, she felt like, okay, at this point, I would say she felt disrespected, because, like, for someone to come out and talk about, her dress code with these insecurities from the TV station, and, like, it may not be only the TV station, outside there, and now Ella bringing it on here, like, she felt like, okay, this is disrespect. I understand, I understand Bougie from where she's coming from. And, like, she has gone through all this, like, she feels disrespected. She feels like people do not appreciate her dress code. That is how she feels. And, at some point it is understandable. Like, you feel it. You feel like people do not, like, understand. People do not appreciate your dress code. That is how she felt in that situation. And it for her, with her being a Muslim, like, she literally felt disrespected. And should I say all the words she said were necessary? I would say no. I would say, like, I would say, oh, whatever she said, because, guys, let's not forget, during that episode, when, when Ella talked about her chefy, attire, she came out to ask Ella, like, do you know how you look? How old are you? All this other, like, 40 years, literally, she said all that. But then to me, I really feel like in that situation, it was Bougie, like, who really got angry and said a lot, literally. And let's also look at Ella's side, guys. Let's also look at Ella's side. So for Ella, she disagrees, like, it was not a point, like, it was not coming from her being a Muslim or, like, any situation. For her, she was just, like, complimenting, like, giving a comment, literally, not even complimenting. She was just giving a comment about the attire, where she said it was chafy, like, it was more like a chef's skirt. And, like, she also said, for the time she has been in the industry, like, she understands. And I would say she was just describing the attire. I would say Ella was just describing how, like, how Boogie's attire was, like, literally, I do not see any offense in the, in that situation. This is where I really feel like that is where Ella was coming from, like, just describing, Boogie's attire. It was not from a point of insulting Bougie. She was just describing her attire, it being chafy, like, something like that. Like, it was not an insult. She was just describing the attire. But then Bougie did not sit right with Bougie. Like, why are you coming from my attire? Why are you literally coming from my attire? Hey, and at this point I'm like, okay. So Bougie, like, Bougie was not ready. Like, she said to her, she does not take, like, she's not sorry, and she does not take back all she said about, about Ella. Guys, what did she say? She said a lot. She said a lot. Well, she said, how old are you? 40 years. Do you know how you look? Like, literally, those were insulting words, literally, because you cannot come for somebody talking about their age. Like, it is really so insulting in this, like, in the society. But Bougie said she's not taking taking anything back, and she's not sorry. She says Ella deserved whatever she said, so she's not taking it back. At this point, I'm like, Boogie, why are you taking everything so far? I really feel like at this point, I really feel like this was a point where they needed to at least reconcile, like put all that aside. But then Boogie still has those, like, insecurities where she feels like she was disrespected. I really feel like this was a small thing they could sit down, and address, talk about. This is where Boogie was supposed to address her insecurities of her dress code, and maybe Ella was supposed to understand that this is what Boogie does not like. But it is what it is. Boogie is not taking back what she said. She stands by her words. So she stands on her ground. She's not ready to take back anything she said about Ella. Boogie, that was a lot you said. That was a lot. And now you're just emphasizing that you do not take back what you said. Hey. Oh, anyway, guys, give me a genuine answer in the comment section. What do you really think? What do you really think about the situation of Ella, and Boogie? Like, do you really think Ella was coming from a side where she was just describing her attire, or do you really think, or did it feel like disrespect, or did it feel like an insult to Boogie? Give me a genuine answer in the comment section. Let's get to know what you think about all this situation. Anyway, guys, let's now talk about Esther's situation and Icy Sonia. Oh my god. Anyway, guys, let's talk about the situation. First of all, I would say Esther was the drama queen. Esther was the show. So anyway, there is no way this reunion was going to end before we talk about Esther. Anyway, let's talk about Esther and Icy Sonia. So this was triggered from a statement that was made by Jemima. So Jemima made a statement that's what she said. Esther would only be attached to a child like she will give birth to. And Sonia came out to make a statement, like she said, that is only if she will get one. At this point, I'm like, okay, guys, in that episode, I was a little bit shocked, but at some point now, I really understand it when Sonia explained her side of the story. So this is what she felt, because at some point, Mommy Deb said, oh, Esther did not give it energy, like she did not take it too far, like she did not give it the energy. And Esther came in to explain why she did not give it the energy. Remember, Esther had shared with these people, there was a time they were eating and she ate less. And she told them, oh, she does not eat much because she had had a surgery. She had had the gastric sleeve surgery, so she does not eat much. So at this point, Esther felt like, okay, this statement Sonia made was from that perspective. It was from a point where she was trying to say, like, it was literally, she said she feels like Sonia's idea was from this part of the surgery. She feels like, okay, she says, because to me, I really feel like the gastric sleeve surgery is where you reduce the weight of the stomach, like they reduce your stomach literally. And at this point, I'm like, okay, what does this have to do with this gastric sleeve surgery? Because it doesn't have anything to do with this. And literally also Esther feels like that is the reason as to why Sonia made that statement. First of all, this statement came out like weirdly at some point, because it could mean two different things. Because she said that is only if she gets one. First of all, it could mean Esther does not want to have kids. At the same time, it could also mean Esther cannot have kids. And for her, Esther, she feels like it came from this part where they say of Esther cannot have kids because she went for this gastric sleeve surgery. That is what Esther thought, that where Sonia got the idea, like she cannot have the kids because she went for the surgery. And she went ahead to say she does not think Sonia is so stupid to think just because she went for the surgery, like she also put out the uterus. At this point, I'm like, okay, what is going on? And she went ahead to say, the idea itself was absurd. That is why she did not give it the energy, because she feels like Sonia is not a stupid person to think that she put out the uterus. So that is why she did not give it, the energy, the time, did not take it too far. And to me, I really feel like, Esther was so strategic with this show. There is no way she was going to give, there is no she was going to give it energy because she did not want to give these people the attention. She was the center of attention, so she did not want to give away the attention because at this point she was the villain, so there is no way she was going to give, this Sonia that place because she already knew, okay. By the way, let me also tell people, like, when you know something is not right, because Esther herself knew, okay, that is what she thinks, but then it is not right. Why would I give her the energy? Like, why would, like, literally that was Esther, like, if it is wrong, why would I give her the energy? And she went ahead. Even when Sonia came out to say no, that is not what she meant, because Sonia came out to say it was not from that perspective of the surgery. Like, she shared and said at some point Esther had mentioned that she does not want to have kids, and that is where it was coming from. Like, it was not coming from the perspective of the surgery, it was just coming from that part where at some point she had said she does not want kids. Esther, my villain. My villain Esther, when did you say you don't want kids, and why did you say you do not want kids? You see, now you opened up about your surgery, and there was a time you said you don't want kids, and now people are using it against you. Anyway, it is what it is. At least now she cleared the air about it, and I hope they are now on the same page since she cleared the air about it. Anyway, it is what it is. Or the only thing I really like the fact that Esther does not, she does not attach herself to things that do not matter. Like, if she feels like something is wrong, okay, you'll say it and she will just move on, because she does not want to give you the time. Like, hello, I will be she feels like she's the center of attention, so she's not giving you any attention. Anyway, guys, leaving that alone, let's talk about this Lion King, situation. This was a situation between, I see Sonia and Mommy Deb. Oh, guys. So we remember in episode 3, these people had games. So in these games, this was a time where these people were supposed, it was more athletic, so it had bottle feeding, and maybe it also had the truth or trap. And so these people came dressed, in something athletic, shorts, leggings, because it was something to do, at least moving their bodies, running. So Mommy Deb came running. She came all eager and she just bumped into Sonia. It was, first of all, Sonia says it was a funny moment. Mommy Deb felt like it was a playful moment, like they needed to, like, literally, to me. And what I saw, like, I really feel like, okay, it was a time of fun. Mommy Deb was trying to have fun. She was trying to come in with the energy, and like, also Sonia felt like it was okay. And like, Sonia started I did not take it serious anyway. Like, Sonia compared Mommy Deb to to this character in The Lion King. And now, is it Bamba, something like that? And and now I really did not take it so serious. Me too. But at some point, with Mommy Deb's statements, like, even when she says, oh, it did not affect her, like, she was joking. But then, guys, let's be realistic at this point. Like, really, Mommy Deb, like, after you seeing what she said, that comparison, like, I do not think. I really feel like Mommy Deb just wanted it to slide. What, sometimes you do not want to give something energy, like, you do not want to give it any effort. So I really feel like she just wanted it to slide. She just let it to slide. But anyway, Mommy Deb came up with this, like, her story, like, her trauma about this social media bullying, like, literally, because she came out and shared, like, people, like, when she said when she was in the UK, like, she was so proud, she was so happy with her boobs, she loved her boobs, like, literally, like, because people used to tell her, oh, you look like these musicians, like, literally. And when she came to Uganda, like, people literally started, bullying her, started talking about her boobs being big, because, like, she had a big bust, like, her boobs were big. And, like, people started talking about her boobs, like, because she, even when she was trying to pass on a message, because we all know Mommy Deb is an influencer, she's this, she's that. Even when she was always trying to pass on a message, people, like, like people always, like they always put the focus on the boobs. Like everything was about the boobs, or the comment sections were always about the boobs. And at this point, it started feeling bad. Like she started feeling like, why would they, like literally it felt like social media bullying, like literally. And that, like she was not happy about it. And like now I was trying to understand why, like literally, like with this bumping into Sonia. Remember, she has a big bus. Like she came running, bumped into Sonia, and with Sonia's comparison, and now Mommy Deb, like literally, it triggered Mommy Deb's trauma of this, like online bullying, like literally. And she said, oh, when she, just like I shared, when she was in the UK, she loved her body, she loved her boobs, like literally, she was okay with everything. But then coming to Uganda, like they started bullying her, they started talking about her boobs, like it made her really uncomfortable, like everything. Just like she said, whenever she would try to pass on a message or communicate something, people did not give it attention. All they gave attention was her boobs. Like they missed the the message she was always trying to pass on, or the focus was on her boobs. She said the comment section, like literally everything, everybody wanted to comment about her boobs, not what she's even trying to pass on. At this point, I'm like, with the Ugandans. You Ugandans, let me, at this point I'm like, okay, I do not want to discourage Mommy Deb. You see now, Mommy Deb, you've gone for surgery, like you've worked on the boobs. Trust me, they will get something new to talk about, because we all know Ugandans who always have something bad to talk about. Now it will be something new, literally. But it is what it is. Mommy Deb, you're looking good. You're looking good. I'm not gonna lie. Mommy Deb is looking good with her new body. Anyway, so Mommy Deb shared that after the filming, like literally she was traumatized. Like literally she was overwhelmed, and this is when she made a decision. The decision, it's not like she liked the decision she made, but then she never wanted these online people to judge her according to her boobs, or have a lot to say about boobs, and like literally miss out the messages she always passes on because of her boobs. And now she went for surgery, guys. Mommy Deb's new body, she's looking good. But I wouldn't say, if she, like, with that decision and where the decision is coming from, I'm really sorry, girl. That was so bad. But Ugandans, Ugandans will now have something new to talk about, because Ugandans never say it. They do not. Anyway, Mommy Deb is now having a new body. Like, it is, it is really nice. It is really, really nice. But Mommy Deb is sorry, because I'm gonna say that part where Mommy Deb talked about the online bullying, the way people bullied her about her boobs. Like everybody was always talking about her boobs. Like literally, I would say, okay, that was so hurting. I'm not gonna lie to you, because Ugandans. Anyway, it is what it is. And like for literally, this is where Mommy Deb is coming from, taking you back to that comparison. For Mommy Deb, it literally triggered that, social media bullying, the way they bullied her, the way they always talk about her boobs, the way literally everything is always there. And for for Sonia, for her, it wasn't something serious, because she said it was a funny moment. The way she came to her, like literally, it was not something very serious. It did not come from a certain space. It was just a moment, like a funny moment to her. It did not come from a certain space. But then for her, literally, sometimes we may be joking or we may be playing, but then we do not know people's, like we do not know when we trigger something in people. Like we literally did not know what is what literally happened, because Sonia did not know, like it could trigger something, like literally it did not do one. Even when Mommy Deb said, deep down she knows it triggered something. It did. Anyway, it is what it is. That is what happened between Sonia and Mommy Deb with this Lion King thing. With this Lion King thing. Tell me what you think. Do you really think Sonia was from a certain space, or she was just playing, or she was just joking? Because to me it feels like Sonia did not know so much about it, or she did not mean to trigger anything of Mommy Deb. It was, just like she said, it was a funny moment, and like everything. Anyway, let's now talk about Jean and Jemima. Guys, just as I said, in this situation, in this reunion, Jemima is the villain. Let's now talk about Jean and Jemima, the sisters. They are both Karamojong. They all come from the same region, like literally. So do you know in the first episode, guys, for sharing rooms, for those who did not watch, please go back to the first episode of Vibes and Visits on my channel. You'll be able to watch. Anyway, guys, let's talk about Jemima and Jean's sisterhood. We remember in episode 1, Jemima and Jean were like sisters, because after them being like sharing the room, Jean was excited about meeting her sister, like, oh, this or that, we're sisters, same region, they're all common John. Like, literally, they have most of the things in common. And you know, like, they were like sisters. Jemima was saying they're sisters. And today, for the reunion, Jean is saying, who is sister? At this point, I'm like, okay, what is going on here? What is happening with the sisterhood? What is going on? When she said, who is sister? I said, okay, give me my tea. I have to listen to this gist. Who is sister? What do you mean? And what happened to the sisterhood we saw in episode 1? Yeah. And so I was like, okay, what is going on? Anyway, so Jean felt betrayed. Probably she felt betrayed because to her, she feels like Jemima called her a sister, or Jemima played the sister thing when the cameras were on, but then off camera, like she was like, no, off camera, like she said Jean is not her sister. Guys, what happened to the sisterhood we saw in episode 1? Because we all know they are not biological sisters. They are just, you know, when you come from the same area with somebody, like, you literally have most of the things in common. You feel like there is that bond there, like, literally you feel like there is that sisterhood there. And that is what Jean thought. And literally that is what, you know, Jemima portrayed to Jean when they were together. Like, literally it felt like a sisterhood thing. And guys, let's not forget the way Jean was there for Jemima when Jemima got this ulcer attack. Like, literally she felt like she was her sister. She was there, like, literally doing this, doing that. By now, she gets to know that Jemima was betraying her off camera, like talking about they are not sisters. They just follow each other on social media. I'm like, what do you fucking mean you just follow yourselves on social media? And you told us you're like sisters. What do you even mean? Girls will be girls. Girls will always be girls. This is why I say these friendships with girls, like, it will never last longer. Anyway, it is what it is. Let's talk about the situation. So Jean felt betrayed when she feels like Jemima talks about sisterhood, but then it wasn't a sisterhood from the very get-go. She feels like she talks about sister, which is on camera, but then on the other side, she's talking about they are not sisters. She does not like the way Jemima betrayed her. Hey guys, so Jemima came out to say, are we sisters? Like, are we biological sisters? We are not. Like, she say they just follow each other, but they have never interacted. Like, they have never gotten down like one-on-one, like interacted like that. At this point, I'm like, you're sisters, but you've never interacted. You do not know each other, and you're telling us you're sisters. Like, what do you even mean? So for Jean, she feels like Jean says she has known Jemima for 5 years. And you know, like, Jemima is like, you knowing me for 5 years, or you knowing her for 5 years, does not mean they have interacted. It does not mean there is something big. Like, does not mean they are sisters. At this point, I'm like, okay, what is going on? So, you know, like, Jean says, okay, you said we've never interacted. She says she has receipts. At this point, I'm like, Jean, bring out the receipts. Jean, bring the receipts. Jean. At this point, I wanted to know which receipts Jean had. So Jean reads us a message that says, the message where Jemima was inviting her for her son's first birthday. I'm like, okay, what is going on? And Jemima says, okay, that is a social media thing. I said we follow each other on social media. Yes, Jemima. Let me now get something straight, Jemima. How do you invite somebody you say you do not know? You say you've never interacted, like you just follow each other on social media for your son's first birthday. It does not make sense to me, because I really feel like for our kids' first birthday, we invite people we trust, we invite people we know. Because what do you mean you're inviting Jean, a person you've never interacted with, for your son's first birthday? How? Because it wasn't making sense to me. Maybe if I really feel like Jemima would have said, okay, we've been friends, we've been friends for some time, but then it is time that friendship ended. Or maybe, okay, we're from the same place, we've interacted, we've done this and that, but I no longer trust you, Jane. Or like, I no longer want to be your sister. Because there is no way you deny. Like, literally, Jemima is denying Jane being her friend, is literally denying Jane. You know, like, I'm not gonna, yes, the truth is they are not biological sisters, but then you could be sisters with the environment, with like having most things in common, like being friends. Like the friendship could move from being the friendship and maybe to sisters. That is what Jane thought. But Jemima thought about the other way around. She said, we're not biological sisters, and Jane felt betrayed. And you know, with Jane's research, like, guys, I really feel like these people, I really feel like, yes, they have known each other for 5 years, and I really feel like they have interacted, they have been in the same spaces together. Because I really feel like people on social media can tell, like, these people have been in, you know, some spaces together. So what do you mean you've not interacted with each other? And what do you mean you're inviting somebody for your son's first birthday, and you say you've never, hey, there is no way. Remember, there is no way you're going to tell me you invited somebody for your son's first, or make it that capital letters, your son's first birthday. You're inviting somebody you've not interacted with, somebody who is not your friend, somebody you just follow on social media. It does not make sense at this point. Because Jemima, tell me this. Oh, so if this, how do I call it? Okay, let's talk about, okay, let's talk about this, Jemima. So if one day Cardi B, if you follow Cardi B, and Cardi B wakes up one bright morning and she decides to follow you, like at this point you just two people following each other on social media, would you invite Cardi B for your son's birthday? Like, how? It doesn't make sense. It literally does not make sense to me. I really feel like they have been friends. Like, they have been in the same spaces. They have interacted, but maybe the friendship, Jemima, like, expected or thought it is not. It's not literally now. Like, yo, what happened to the friendship you people had in episode 1? You people were talking about, your sisters, all this stuff. All of a sudden, you're no longer sisters. Anyway, Jean was not ready to stand all this. She said, okay, we just friends just follow each other on social media. How about we end it? How about we put a close on that chapter? Let's not follow even each other. Jean pulled out the phone. She literally deleted Jemima's number and blocked it. At this point, I'm like, okay, what is going on? At this point, I'm like, okay, Jean, you're overreacting. This is something you could sit down, address, like talk about, like, because you people are from the same area. Maybe you people have a lot of things in common. Like, literally, you could address it, like talk about it, and literally solve the issue. You're going too far, blocking, like deleting the number. That was too much, Jane. That was literally too much. I understand. First of all, I will look at two sides, but then this time I don't know whether I have Jemima's side, guys. I do not know whether I have Jemima's side. But from this side, let's look at Jean helping Jemima out, taking care of her when she had that ulcer attack that she mentioned, standing for her. Like, she literally addressed the girls. Do you remember when Damalie had, called the girls? Jean also had something to say. What she said, nobody was there for, for Jemima, but then she was there. We saw Jean try to talk to try to talk to Jemima about everything. We saw Jean, even the first episode, you could really tell. And now she comes here and she finds, Jemima had said they were not sisters. Trust me, she felt betrayed. This is where, Jean is coming from. Like, what do you mean? Like, she felt betrayed. Like, she felt betrayed by Jemima. For Jemima, Jemima's side. Jemima, the only side you have is for the fact that you are not biological sisters. I will say, yes, it is true. You could not be biological sisters, but you could be sisters in the other way, from the same region. You have most of the things in common, like literally. I really feel like also that could have, literally, even when you want to pass on something, or even when you want to do something, you wouldn't have betrayed Jean, because she was there for you, girl. She was there. Anyway, I don't know what you people have to say about this situation. Please give me your genuine opinion about the situation in the comment section. Let's get to know what you people think about this situation. Anyway, let's now talk about Damarie's situation, guys, because it was too much. Damalie, let's now talk about Damarie's situation. But then before we go on, guys, how do you find Damalie? How did you find Damalie in the whole season? Like, what do you think about Damalie? Because everybody was coming for Damalie. First of all, I would say I really feel like Damalie was the weakest person on the show, and everybody felt like they could come for Damalie at this point. Anyway, let's share about Damalie's situation, because it is literally like Damalie versus everybody, because everybody was kind of involved in Damalie's situation. Anyway, guys, first of all, let's talk about this situation where they asked Mommy Deb about what she had shared online. So Mommy Deb online had shared something like, oh, just because she's kind, she checks on people, or she's this, or that she does that, or she could go an extra mile for this cast. Like, they take it in a wrong way. They think she wants to be friends with him, or they think they are friends. I asked her, where is this coming from? And she said it is coming from a point where Damalie kept on asking, like, she kept on saying, Damalie kept on saying she did not have time with Mommy Deb. At this point, I'm like, okay, bring more, bring more, bring more. We want to understand. Let me, guys, take you back to the conversation that was held between Damalie and Mommy Deb, where Damalie kept on saying, oh, she wanted Mommy Deb to sit her down, talk to her, like, teach her, like, literally, like, it was literally funny, because what do you mean you want Mommy Deb to sit you down, talk to you, like, ask you, who is Damalie Sandra, like, teach you, like, do this. Literally, it felt like Damalie wanted her own personal time with Mommy Deb. Like, it felt like she wanted Mommy Deb to herself also, like, she wanted Mommy Deb's attention that she did not get. And now that is why Mommy Deb literally decided to go online and have that, clarification, or have that such statements. Like, she said she feels misinterpreted, like she feels like people misinterpret her kindness, literally her coming to people, like asking them, are you okay, are you this, like trying to care for them, or they mistake her kindness to them being her friends. At this point, I'm like, okay. Then Damalie says she does not want to be Mommy Deb's friend. Like, she does not want to be Mommy Deb's friend. At this point, I'm like, okay, what is going on? Damalie, what do you mean you do not want to be Mommy Deb's friend? Yet, you're the very person who was asking for time. You are the very person who was asking for 5 minutes from Mommy Deb. You are the very person who was talking about you wanted Mommy Deb to sit you down, ask you who is Damalie, like teach you, like do this with you. What do you mean you do not want to be Mommy Deb's friend? At this point, I really feel like Damalie would have said during the season she wanted to get to know Mommy Deb, she wanted to be friends with Mommy Deb, but then after her experience, she no longer wants to be Mommy Deb's friend. At least that would have made sense. At least to me, that would make sense. But then this part where she says she does not want to be Mommy Deb's friend, what do you mean? You never wanted to be Mommy Deb's friend during the season, or you just no longer want to be Mommy Deb's friend after the season? Because it is not making sense. Anyway, Damalie says she does not want to be Mommy Deb's friend. With all this attention, Mommy, like Damalie wanted, all this crying, all this, or this, what do you fucking mean you do not want to, like, you never wanted to be Mommy Deb's friend? Damalie. So Damalie went ahead to tell Mommy Deb. She went ahead to tell Mommy Deb that, like, literally, she wanted, just like I said, she wanted attention, like she wanted Mommy Deb to sit her down. It is like they'd never gotten time. And she went ahead to say, oh, just because on social media, she went ahead to say, when someone reposts their videos, like she said, influencers think when somebody posts their videos, when somebody likes their videos, when somebody like literally reposts, shares, likes their videos, does not mean they want to be friends. She explained it to be influencer syndrome. At this point, I'm like, okay, Damalie, why would you, okay, if you say you do not want to be somebody's friend, why would you like their videos? Why? Okay, let me give it a benefit of a doubt, where I would say, okay, you like the information they are passing on, or you like how the way they looked, or you like something about the video. Okay, why would you repost the video? Why? You remember, okay, you do not want to be this person's friend. Why would you repost the video? Why would you like the video? Why would you share the video? That is like literally going an extra mile. Like literally, that is going an extra mile. Because at this point where Damalie is saying, just because somebody reposts, shared, like did what with their videos, it does not mean they want to be friends with them when they meet. At this point, I'm asking myself, is Damalie. You're talking about you want somebody to sit down with you, teach you, do this, ask you who is Damalie, and at the same time you're talking about somebody like when somebody shares the videos, reposts them, likes, like literally you still do not want to be this person's friend. At this point I'm like, okay, influencer syndrome, Damalie, influencer syndrome. Anyway, it is what it is. So, because for me, I've been trying to understand where Damalie is coming from in every perspective, in every situation. Let's get to that after. Anyway, so all that said, Mommy Deb came out to tell Damalie that, oh, you do not want to be your friend, because like literally Mommy Deb felt like, okay, like she felt like, okay, who is confused? Like she feels like Damalie herself does not understand what she is saying, because to her it comes out differently. To Mommy Deb it comes out like Damalie wants to be Mommy Deb's friend, like Damalie wants really to get to know Mommy Deb. But then Damalie at the other side, she's denying. She's saying, oh, she does not want to be Mommy Deb's friend. She's thinking about, I do not want to be your friend. Let's get things clear. I do not want to be your friend. At this point, I'm like, okay, what is going on here? Like literally, what is going on? And the other thing, to me, it really feels like during the show, Damalie wanted Mommy Deb's attention, and Mommy Deb did not provide the attention, did not give the attention Damalie expected. And so in that situation, she felt left out. She felt like she was denied something. So that is why she's saying she does not want to be Mommy Deb's friend. Except even they're not telling her something that was behind the cameras. Anyway, let's also talk about this Ella's situation. Okay, when Damalie called the girls to address them, where we had Sonia taking the communication to speak to everybody. The way Damalie is calling all these people. First of all, when they called these people, everybody thought they were going to address what Esther had said, because everybody felt like Esther was bullying Damalie. That was the previous day where Esther had mentioned something like, she finds Damalie like not anywhere, like she sees her as a shadow, and everybody thought maybe she felt like Damalie wanted to address it. Like she felt like Damalie wanted to really address that situation, because you remember Esther had asked Damalie like, do you really belong here? Or she's talked about she looks at her as a shadow, like she has not given her anything that would pull her, like would make her feel attracted to her. And everybody felt like, okay, since Damalie has called us, this is what she wants to address, literally. Because Ella said before leaving that room, she had asked Damalie like, are you okay? Are you okay? Like she had tried to check on Damalie, and Damalie said, she'll be okay. And she went literally and also talked to Mommy Deb about it, and she told them, oh, Damalie is crying, like she said, Damalie is not okay, like people check on her, Damalie is not okay. And this side, when they called them, everybody thought they were going to address Esther's issue. And also, guys, Esther thought they were going to address her or that, because there was a point during that season, during that episode, when she mentioned something like, oh, you're calling because she also felt like they were going to address the same situation, because she's mentioned something like, oh, you're calling us, you're going to report me to the other girls. That is also what Esther thought. Also, Esther thought they were going to address the same situation, where they clarified it as bullying, where they felt like Esther had bullied Damalie. And to their disappointment, when they reached, and Damalie started talking about our lips, or this, not good in time, this, that. They all felt like, okay, Damalie was now telling lies. They felt like, okay, everything that Damalie was saying wasn't making sense to them. And, and Ella felt like, okay, they had wasted her time. She felt like Damalie had wasted her time. Because to her, she says, coming to the show, she thought everything was to enjoy, be happy, like be there, staycation, have fun, the vibes, this and that. But then to her disappointment, when she came in, she decided to chip in with Damalie. First of all, she accepted being Damarie's roommate. And, she decided to chip in for Damalie, she decided to extend the kindness, check on Damalie, are you okay? She really decided to be Damarie's safe space. And Damalie said, Ella was trying, like literally Ella thought she was Damarie's safe space, and she asked her like, where are you? At this point, I'm like, what is going on? So for somebody who was there for you, somebody who lent you a shoulder, like always checking on you, like, are you okay? Are you okay? I know you're asking this, you're telling this person, you did not ask. You're telling this person, you were not, literally it felt like she was telling Ella, like, you were not the safe space you thought you were. At this point, I'm like, okay, Damalie. Did you take anything? Did Damalie get advice from anybody when she was coming for this reunion? Because it felt like she wanted to come for these people, but then unfortunately, Damalie still worked. There's no she was coming for these people. And anyway, they asked Ella, how do you feel after chipping in for this person? Like literally, after being there for this person, after lending a shoulder to this person, and you see what this person is saying, like where she said, thank you, but I did not ask. At this point, I'm like, okay. Ella, I want to know how she felt. But to her, she feels like, okay, she has been, like, that is her kind of way. Like, that is her. She always lends shoulder. She always chips in. She always extends, her kindness. So, there is nothing much. She felt like, okay, if she did not appreciate it, it is what it is. Anyway, for the people who don't get attached to things, I would say on this season, Ella is somebody who wasn't getting attached to any situation, like for her to be there, get attached to it, feel like, like literally. Because you cannot lend your shoulder to somebody. Be there for this person they're bullying. Be there for this person everybody feels like she's not in her right senses, or this and this. And, she still says, who asked? She still says, oh, you thought you were the safe space. But then she still asks the question, were you the safe space you thought you were? Like, Damalie, what is going on? Anyway, that is how Damalie felt about Ella's situation. We cannot change anything. We cannot, like, literally exchange anything or change anything about anything. Anyway, so, Mommy Deb went ahead to make a statement where she said, ever since she felt like, but Mommy Deb felt like, from the situation or from the time Esther called Damalie like a shadow, Damalie decided to come up and confuse everybody. Because, like Mommy Deb feels like Damalie wants to create friends, but then in creating friends, she wants to create these friends with lies. Like, because she feels like Damalie has been lying from the get-go during the season, and she wants to make friends, but then she's lying. Like literally, she wants to make friends through lies. At the same time, like, okay, Damalie, have you been lying to these people? Like, what is going on? First of all, let's talk about this part of the lips. So the host asks Ruthie about the lips situation with Damalie. She started by saying, oh, do you like Damarie's lips? And this person like, okay. And now they take us back to the situation of the lips. This is where they gather the girls, and Damalie decided to address the thing of the lips, like Ruthie had talked about Damarie's lips. And talking about Damarie's lips, like, to Damalie did not come out as a compliment. Like, she felt like these people were not themselves, so she did not know whether to be genuine or to also be fake, maybe. Because Ruthie says she had no problem. Like, she was okay. She likes Damarie's lips, though Damalie felt like these people were not real, and to her she wanted a real conversations. She wanted everything real, but then she felt like these people weren't real. And so I'm like, okay, guys, Ruthie decides to call Damalie, to say Damalie maybe has bipolar. I'm like, at this point I was like, Ruthie, aren't you using something big? Because what do you fucking mean? Sorry, what do you mean she has bipolar? Because it is something big. It is like, I mean, to think it is so big. So she goes ahead to explain herself. Like, sometimes Damalie is high, sometimes she's low, sometimes she's lying, sometimes she's doing this, sometimes like literally, sometimes she's even crying. And this is where also Ella said Damalie would wait for the cameras to roll and she would start crying, like literally. And I said, I'm like, okay, Damalie, what is this with all this season, with all this crying, with all these lies, with all this whatever, all this denying, like literally. And this one I'm like, Damalie, what is really going on? Ruthie had no soft words for Damalie, literally, because to her, she felt like she was there, or she was trying to encourage her about her lips, but then Damalie felt like it was fake. And, like, literally, Damalie... guys, let me say, for the very first thing, I really feel like Damalie opened in the season, like literally in the season, Damalie opened up so fast and she was disappointed, and now she was only at the disappointment level. She had no, like, she couldn't trust anybody. Even when Ella tried to check on her, tried to do this with her, like tried to literally, like everything was not sitting right. And, like literally everything wasn't making sense with Damalie at some point. Anyway, after that, Mommy Deb told Damalie, like, to at least choose a personality and stick to it, like, be that personality, because every time she would change, every time she would lie, everything. At this point, I'm like, okay, Damalie, nobody is even on her side. Nobody was on her side. And that is when also Esther chose to come out and say, oh, you people thought I was bullying. Remember when she had talked about the shadow thing, like, is Damalie fit to be here, that she thinks she's supposed to be there. And that is where Esther came out to say, oh, you see guys, I wasn't bullying her. She even does not know who she is. Esther says Damalie does not know who she is. At this point I'm like, okay, she may not know everything. Esther, you're going too far. Because I felt like, okay, Damalie may not know everything, may not know how to like have conversations with you people, although this, but then at least I still believe she does. She knows herself. Like, why would you say she does not know herself? This is where Bougie asked, like, Esther, why do you think she does not know herself? Like, why would you think? Because Damalie literally kept quiet, because Damalie knows Esther will come for her with those statements that Esther had said in the season, during the season. There's no way Damalie would reply. But then, Bougie decided to stand up for Damalie, and like everybody, like now Ruthie came out to say, why are they standing up for you? And when Damalie decided to stand up for herself, now Esther says, oh, now you've gotten the courage to stand up for yourself. At this point, like everything, these people were, at this point I feel like these people, like literally Damalie was intimidated. She was scared of these people, because every time she would try to, like to say something, they would come for her, like to tell, like straight away, they would come for her, like literally. And she was one of the weakest people on the show. I feel like at some point she was scared of these people. And Bougie decided to stand up for her, and now when they shut her down and she decided to speak on her own, and everybody was coming for her, and like Mommy Deb came out to tell us that, oh, ever since this shadow thing, like literally Damalie decided to confuse them, like, oh, then they said Damalie wants somebody to encourage her to stand up for herself. That is when she can stand up for herself. Guys, we must say, Damalie has seen a lot during the season, so she's scared of these people. There's no way she will stand up for herself without any support. She first wanted to know if there is somebody on her side. She really wanted to first know if there is somebody on her side. Anyway, guys, with all this situation that happened with Damalie, let's try to see, like, let me try to know, like, to show you from both sides. From this side, I would say, okay, from Damarie's side, Damalie, yes, let's accept. Damalie wanted to be Mommy Deb's friend. Like, Damalie wanted some attention from Mommy Deb. Damalie at least wanted a private conversation, like real conversation. She wanted to know Mommy Deb. That is it. But then she did not get the time, like Mommy Deb was busy, or she did not have, like, maybe something, like she did not really get attracted to Damalie, so they did not have the time. And now Damalie is talking about, like, she does not want to be Mommy Deb's friend. I would say no, she really wanted to, but then there was no time, they did not have time. Maybe there was nothing. And so now she feels like she does not want to be Mommy Deb's friend. At this point, I'll be like, okay, if she said during the season she really wanted to be Mommy Deb's friend, but then after the experience, she no longer wants to be Mommy Deb's friend. That I will understand her from where she's coming from. And that's part where they say she does not stand up for herself. I'll be like, okay, I will say, with all Damalie that went through in the season, like literally, there is no way Damalie will stand up for herself, guys. Damalie would say one thing and everybody would come for Damalie. Okay, how do these people expect Damalie to stand up for herself with the way they had treated her in the season. I wouldn't say they treated her badly. It was her cause that they treated her that way. But with all she experienced, because the moment she tried addressing this, everybody backfired to Damalie. So definitely at this point, she's intimidated by them. There is no way she would stand up for herself. She wanted to really know if there is somebody who would, like, try to be on her side. Then at least she would say something, like, literally. And, anyway, for this side, for these casts, I would say at some point they're also correct, literally. If Damalie called them, if Damalie, like, literally wanted to address them, she wanted to she had a different story that she told those of Sonia, that Sonia went to invite these people that Damalie wanted to speak them, and on them coming, now the story changed to lips, to this, we've not got in time. Like, literally, the story changed. Now the trust began, like, living. On the other side, everybody felt like Damalie was the weakest person on the show, so everybody came. I would really feel like Esther came for Damalie most of the times because she thought Damalie was the weakest person here, like, literally. But with this, she felt like I would go for Damalie, like, literally, she was one of the weakest people here. And another thing I would say, some people said Damalie told them lies, and that is why literally they lost the trust with Damalie, because there was this situation of Sheila, the pretentious thing, where Damalie, Sheila was calling Damalie pretentious, and it was a whole girly drama thing with Damalie and this other cast. And like Mommy Deb said, if Esther had not called Damalie a shadow, like, literally, we wouldn't have gotten Damarie's side, the lies, the what, like, literally, all added into that. But then to me, I really feel like at some point Damalie had points, though she was not given enough time to speak, though still, like, Damalie did not know, she was not straightforward. She needed to beat around the bush, maybe. Sometimes some people will first beat around the bush to get to the point. And these people did not have time to wait. They did not have the patience. They were on a vacation. They did not have that patience to wait for you to explain the zigzag up to when you get to the point. These people wanted. I really feel like if Damalie had gotten straight to the point when she called these people, I really feel like they would have listened to Damalie. They would have gotten at least a chance. They would have heard from Damalie, giving her the attention. But then since she decided to beat around the bush, like, nobody was ready to listen to all that. Like, literally, everybody felt like she was lying, like there was nothing. Everybody felt like, okay, this is like lying, literally. Everybody felt like she was lying. And guys, Damalie has seen days on this show. Damalie has seen days on this show. I'm not gonna lie, Damalie. Anyway, I do not know what you think about Damarie's situation. Let me know what you think about Damarie's situation on the whole season or the reunion. What do you really think about Damarie's situation? Let's also talk about when Damalie told Esther, like, you have no right to say Damalie does not know who she is, like, she has no right to say something like that. And Damalie also came out to ask Esther, who are you, like literally in her words, who are you to say Damalie does not know who she is? And Esther came out to assure her, like, I am, that she said she is the person she literally summoned to come, like, she is the person that called her the shadow. She's the person that she thinks she is. She's the person Damalie thinks Esther is. And so she has nothing so much. And listen, I'm like, okay, yes, Esther, you're the person that called her the shadow. Yes, Esther, you are the person that was summoned, that Damalie summoned to come literally talk about. Yes, you are the person that asked her if she was sure she belonged there. Because yes, she is the person. And guys, Esther is the show. We should all admit, Esther is the show, because she was the person bringing the drama. She was the person almost everybody was talking about in the show. She was the person that brought, like, triggered most of the things, even when sometimes she went too far. We need to accept she was the show, so she's the person she thinks she is. We all need to admit that. Anyway, but this part where she says Damalie does not know who she is, that went too far. But then on the other things, yes, she is the person she thinks she is, because she's the person who called she was the cause of that summon. She was the cause of most of this drama on the show. So she's the person she thinks she is. So she was the drama. We all need to accept. Anyway, let's talk about Shida's situation. So they ask Shida, so because Shida says, some people say, because they ask, was she fired? Like, is she fired? Shida says she was never fired, but she's not coming back. At this point, I want to know, okay? I said, get me my tea, bring the drama. Why aren't you coming back, baby girl? What she said, first of all, she's not in the entertainment industry. She's just a corporate girly, and you know, like, she feels like she literally was not in the entertainment industry. That is why people, that like, not even people, that is why Sonia Icy found her boring. That is why she said she was boring. And so I'm like, yes, girl, my corporate girl. She's not used to this entertainment industry. She's not used to this much. She's just a corporate girl. And that is why they found her boring. At this point, I'm like, okay, now I understand where she's coming from. I understand, because this corporate world and this other world, those are two different entities. Like, those are two different spaces. They literally, in the corporate world, people believe in keeping quiet. People believe in being humble. They believe in this quietness and what you like, literally more like meditating. And on the other side, they believe in the vibe. Like, literally, there must be a vibe this side. And that is why Sonia Icy found her boring. And she said she was disrespected by the person who calls herself an exclusive producer, executive producer, something like that. And so she cannot take the disrespect. So she is not coming back. At this point, I'm like, what disrespect? I wanted to know what's the exact scenario, but then this person being a person from the corporate world, she's not ready to share the whole story. At this point, I'm like, I really wanted to know the whole story. I really wanted to know the story. How were you disrespected? Like, what triggered the disrespect? How were you disrespected? Okay, we needed the whole story. But then she shared like she felt disrespected, so she's not coming back. And the person who disrespected her was Mommy Dave, because literally she's the executive producer. So she's not coming back. This point I'm like, okay. So this is the last time we see Shada on the show. She's not coming back because she felt disrespected. And guys, when she mentioned something like that, I'm not gonna lie, it also took me back to something. Let me also take you back to the conversation that happened between Ruthie and Shada, where, you know, like, Shada was trying to talk to, you know, Ruthie, like, talking about Mommy Deb, like, where do you feel, like, in which perspective that she'll feel comfortable, being Mommy Deb's friend or being her employee. And she said she could rather be Mommy Deb's friend and leave out the job. Could it be really said? Because also that conversation was held, and we saw that conversation, because it feels like, it also felt like since Ruthie was close with Shada, like, it triggered something with Mommy Dave, like, at some point. Because, what if, like, we really wanted to know where this disrespect was coming from, what triggered that disrespect. But then, you know, when I asked Mommy Deb about the situation, Mommy Deb just told us, Shada is perfect, like, is good at her job, and, like, she's in the corporate world, like, literally that she feels that is where she is supposed to be. I'm like, Mommy Deb, no! We really wanted to know the whole drama. This point, I'm like, Mommy Deb, we really want to know what really happened. You cannot just tell us, she belongs in the corporate world, or that is where she's supposed to be. We really wanted to know what happened. But I was so disappointed nobody opened up. It felt like, okay, there was respect between both of them. It felt like, okay, let's not talk about the situation. Yeah, you disrespected me, let it go. That is how it felt, I'm not gonna lie. Because this side, Shada is talking about she was disrespected and she's not coming back. And this side, Mommy Deb is just talking about, she belongs to the corporate world. She feels like that is where she belongs. I'm like, no, we want to know what really happened. Anyway, these people did not open up about what really happened. Even when we wanted to know what really happened, nobody opened up about what really happened. Shada, my corporate girlie, the only girl that belongs to the corporate world. And, you know, I do not know what you people think about Shada on this season. Tell me, like, be honest with your answers in the comment section. Tell me what you think about Shada in this situation. Anyway, guys, thanks. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you really think Jemima is the reason as to why Ruthie was fired? Or is she like, did she trigger anything? Do you think she's the reason as to why Ruthie was fired? And you people, what do you think about Damalie being on the show? Like, do you think she was a shadow? What do you think about the situation of Damalie and all these casts? And again, what do you think about Jane and Jemima's sisterhood? Because it definitely just collapsed. What do you think about this sisterhood situation? And guys, what do you think about Mommy Deb's decision to go for surgery after the online bullying, this and this and this? Because to me, I really feel like Ugandans will always get something new. I really feel like they'll always have something to talk about. They'll definitely have to choose something else. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. Be genuine. Let's have opinions. Let's have a discussion in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, turn on the notification button so that whenever I post a new video, you're able to watch. I love you so much. Bye.